CTV News with Jack Morse.
It was the worst. I don't want to go back.
Kind of good, kind of bad.
I can't wait for them to go back to school so I can have a quiet, clean house again.
Kids are back in school after March break, and while some students are groaning, parents are celebrating the return to routine. Thanks for joining us. Students, along with mom and dad, jumped back into the saddle in normal life today after a week off. Commuters breathed a sigh of relief as well as Barrie Transit buses rolled on as usual. The union representing Barrie Transit workers, ATU Local 1775, and the transit service contractor, MVT Canadian Bus, reached an 11th hour agreement averting a strike that was expected to start this morning. Now Barrie Transit services will continue to run as scheduled with no interruptions to any route.
We're actually feeling pretty good about it, honestly. None of us really wanted to disrupt our riders' lives in that way. Lots of people rely on us to get to work, to get to whatever. So we did our part. Our ridership has done their part. Now, quite frankly, it's time for the city to do their part and fix the scheduling and fix other issues and make it so it's, people can be safe and proud to ride the buses again.
The union had recently voted 96.5% in favor of a strike, pointing to issues with respect and benefits rather than pay. Now, with a deal in place, roughly 10,000 daily transit riders can make their commutes without worry. A long-running dispute over Barrie's boundary expansion is now officially settled. The township of Oro-Medonte has received a multi-million-dollar compensation payment after the province transferred hundreds of acres of land to the city. CTV's Luke Samard joins us live tonight outside the Oro-Medonte town office to explain what that deal includes and what it means moving forward. Luke.
Well, Jack, Barrie expanded its city limits on January 1st, and compensation packages have been signed by both Springwater Township and Oro-Medonte, with Oro receiving a $10 million reimbursement check. Signed, sealed, and delivered. The township of Oro-Medonte officially finalized their boundary adjustment compensation agreement with the city of Barrie.
It helps the regional marketing area be better prepared for employment opportunities in the future, as well as it compensates us fairly.
Barrie will pay Oro-Medonte $15,000 per developable acre, totaling $10 million, which is paid to the township as one lump sum received on March 13th.
We have to plan not just for today, but for the future. But this helps us build our reserves back up to the level they should be, as the province has asked all provinces through their asset management to build those reserves up.
Residents in Oro-Medonte glad the process is over. However, the result is bittersweet.
I think that we saw the community come together and showed our spirit and how much we care about our land. The bitter part, I think, is that we did not want this annexation process to go ahead, but we do feel that the compensation is good and that we will go forward and hope that the land remains residential and not industrial.
In late February, Barrie and Springwater signed their compensation agreement under Bill 76, which will see $22 million transfer over the next 5 years, going towards the township's economic development. In an interview with CTV News on March 11th, Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall said the two sides were working on a deal which will be resolved soon, with both parties looking to the government for assistance.
The other side of this is $10 million, so it's certainly a much smaller conversation to have, but we'll certainly continue to work with the province on that to deliver whatever they expect.
With Oro-Medonte Mayor satisfied with the outcome.
We did get something, and we did everything within our possibility to ensure that this land is used for community development only, as that reflects what the findings were in the Hempson report. These lands were not suitable for industrial development, but they were suitable for community employment development and residents.
Now, Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall was not available for comment today regarding the compensation package between Oro-Medonte and the city. Oro-Medonte will officially welcome the boundary adjustment as well as compensation package at Oro Council Wednesday night. Reporting live in Oro-Medonte, I'm Luke Samar. Jack, we'll send it back inside to you.
All right, thank you, Luke. Now, as spring settles in, local farmers are gearing up to take on what's ahead. CTV's Rob Cooper brings us our region's spring agriculture outlook.
The maple syrup season is about 1/3 of the way complete, and so far, so good. Tom Shaw at Shaw's Maple Syrup in Oro-Medonte says they'd like a few more sunny days, but says the sap has been flowing well. Even the heavy snow amounts in the bush is helping.
Having lots of snow in the bush is a cold reserve. As the season progresses, we know that we're going to get the warm days. We don't know that we're going to get the cold nights. So having that snow in the bush is a good thing.
Shaw's produces about 1,500 gallons of finished maple syrup every year. It needs 60,000 gallons of sap to get that much finished product. Agriculture generates $1.2 billion in economic activity in Simcoe County alone every year. 1 in 8 jobs are in the industry. The Simcoe County Federation of Agriculture says most local farmers are about 1 month away from getting crops in the ground.
It's been a good spring so far. As long as it stays that way and we keep a steady pace on the track we're on, we should be good.
Over at Barrie Hill Farms, workers are pruning apple trees before the busy season arrives.
So we got to cut them back, take away the excess growth.
Maurice Gervais says the heavy snow amounts in the bush and on fields is a good thing for future crops.
But what this means for your strawberries, your apples, your blueberries, all the stuff that's in the ground right now, it means they're not going to start growing too quickly. Spring isn't going to come too soon, and then everything isn't going to get hammered with a frost that we know will come at the end of May.
So asparagus is up first for most local farmers with a start date of around May the 10th. After that, it's strawberries around June 20th and blueberries around July 20th. Rob Cooper, CTV News at Barrie Hill Farms.
The fallout from the Middle East conflict has pushed the federal government to put out a financial lifeline for farmers, agricultural businesses and food companies hit by a spike in fertilizer and energy prices. Farm Credit Canada is offering a new or additional credit line up to $500,000 with flexible repayment and deferred payment plans. Officials say the loans will help struggling farmers stay afloat. As March continues, the ski season is winding down. Yesterday marked the final day of night skiing at Blue Mountain Resort. A spokesperson confirmed it was the last night for the slopes to stay open until 9 o'clock. The resort is now shifting to its spring schedule. Closer to Barrie, Horseshoe Valley Resort is still near full capacity with trails in good condition. Over at Mount St. Louis Moonstone, slopes remain open, and Snow Valley Ski Resort is in similar shape. All trails available for skiers at this time. Now it's time to head outside and say hello to Casey Colby this evening, who has our first look at weather. Case.
First look at the forecast. Sounds pretty good. Yes, still skiing available. I believe Hardwood still has cross-country skiing available. Check it out. Lots of fun. Get out and enjoy. Let's talk about the weather. Is it enjoyable? Well, I think so. It's kind of a watery-eyed night out here. The winds keep popping up and making our eyes water out here in the garden. -2 is where we sit. Winds out of the northwest. 24 kilometers an hour. The gust as high as about 40 a little later on this evening. -2 is what it is in Owen Sound as we speak. -2 in Newmarket. Looks like holding on to 0 right now, sitting just at the freezing mark in Gravenhurst. 1 degree above in Parry Sound, and it looks like -2 in beautiful Alliston, Ontario. This is a look at the radar satellite images over the last little while, and yes, we do have a little flurry activity, as you can see, scattered about. A few flurries kicking around the garden right now. And coming up in just a few minutes' time, Jack, I know everyone's saying, when are we warming up? When's the southerly flow arriving? Well, it is slowly making its way towards us, southern part of the province, enjoying temperatures into the teens. You hear that, Jack? Into the teens. How long we have to wait coming up just a few minutes' time. Back inside as the flurries blow, Jack.
An investigation is underway to figure out what happened in a deadly crash at LaGuardia Airport between an Air Canada Express jet and a fire truck. 2 pilots are dead and more than 40 people hospitalized. CTV News has confirmed Antoine Foray was one of the pilots killed. CTV Quebec Bureau Chief Jean-Viève Beauchemin is at the Trudeau International Airport.
Parts of the mangled cockpit hang from the Air Canada Express wreckage as investigators piece together the cause of the collision.
Man, that wasn't good to watch.
Chilling audio from the air control tower reveals some of the communications leading up to the crash and its horrifying aftermath.
Man, that wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know. I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
At around 11:40 p.m. Sunday, a Port Authority fire truck is responding to another emergency. Another plane reporting odor in the cabin.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Stop, Truck 1. Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop.
The CRJ 900, operated by Jazz Aviation, landing at LaGuardia, smashes nose first into the truck of the airport's runway 4.
Sadly, the 2 pilots are confirmed deceased, and notifications are being made by Air Canada's care team at this time.
One of those pilots was Antoine Forêt from Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec. A flight attendant was found nearly 100 meters from the plane, still strapped in her jump seat that was ripped from the airplane. CTV News has confirmed that her name is Solange Tremblay and that she was undergoing surgery.
We're fully supporting the relevant investigative authorities in their investigation to learn everything we can about these events.
Dozens of passengers were treated and released, but others are in serious condition in hospital.
Everybody's screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed. So
he smashed his face into the seat in front of him, broke his glasses.
Sarah Dorner's husband, a professor at Montreal's Polytechnic Institute, was on board.
He smelled gas, so he was encouraging people to just slide down, go down the wing. He was there to catch them.
Canada's National Transportation Safety Board has also dispatched a team of investigators to assist in the probe. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
We now have an update in a case we first brought you nearly 20 years ago. A Newmarket father's fight to have his sons returned home after York Regional Police said they were abducted by their mother and taken to Poland. CTV's Mike Arcelidis reports on the stunning developments.
For 17 years, Adita Ustashevska-Watkins had been living in Europe as one of Canada's most wanted fugitives for the alleged kidnapping of her sons from their father.
It would mean the world to me if everybody could help me find the children.
Now 52, Ustashevska-Watkins is back on Canadian soil behind bars, charged with 2 counts of abducting a child under the age of 14. She is accused of taking her young sons to Poland 2 months after their father was awarded sole custody.
They're physically on the run. If they're being hidden, they're on the run. That's not a life to live for any child.
Ustashevska-Watkins, CTV News has learned, was recently arrested in Germany and returned to Canada. She made her first court appearances Thursday and Friday in Newmarket and again today as she seeks bail. Stephen Watkins told police his ex-wife, with help from her father, took the boys following her court-ordered weekend with them March 6, 2009, traveling to New York before boarding a flight to Germany, then Poland. After more than 2.5 years, Watkins tracked his boys down and petitioned a Warsaw court to return his sons to him. With no extradition treaty in place between the 2 countries, a Polish court ruled against the boys' return to Canada, finding it would be detrimental for the children after they integrated fully into Polish society. In 2012, Ustashevska's father received an 18-month conditional sentence, including a year under house arrest. He was convicted of helping her flee. He was ordered not to communicate with his daughter or grandsons as part of his sentence. For years, Stephen Watkins urged the Canadian government to help bring his sons, who are now 24 and 20, home. The Watkins boys remained in Europe. It is unclear where they are now living, while their mother is in jail and ordered by the court not to communicate with them or their father. The accused remains in custody tonight. The allegations against her have not been tested in court. Mike Arcelidis, CTV News, Newmarket.
If you're traveling down Big Bay Point Road and 20th Side Road in Innisfil today, you might notice something new. After a long wait, permanent traffic lights have been installed. They'll be fully up and running by Thursday. Innisfil Council voted unanimously last June to fast-track the project to install lights at the busy intersection, moving it ahead by 3 years.
There were concerns with the number of collisions that were happening at this intersection, and because of that, we wanted to prioritize and make the intersection as safe as we can for everyone.
I live about 10 minutes away, and we've seen numerous accidents here daily. Not daily, but monthly. There's a couple accidents or near misses. It's a huge push to have it stop, the accident stopping. People just run through the stop signs and stuff like that, and they don't realize that people are going 80 and 90, when they're going east-west. They have a little bit of catch-up when they get going.
The intersection sits along the Barrie-Innisfil boundary and serves as a key route between Barrie and Friday Harbour Resort. It's seen an explosion in traffic through rapid population growth. The Barrie Colts hit the ice today, getting ready for their opening round matchup of the OHL playoffs. As CTV's Mike Lang reports, they'll face a familiar opponent, but missing one of their top stars.
The Barrie Colts hit the ice Monday morning to prepare for a foe that's becoming more and more familiar. After eliminating the Niagara Ice Dogs last year, the Colts are hoping for a similar outcome again this year.
I feel great. I feel like our guys have put a ton of work in this year and have not wasted any days.
Just got to keep doing what we've been doing all year. Not much change. We had their number throughout the year, so just stick with what we've been doing.
Colts head coach Dylan Smoskowitz will be making his OHL postseason debut after his 45 wins set a Colts record for a first-year bench boss. But his group will begin the first round shorthanded. In Saturday's season finale against the Ice Dogs, star defenseman Kayshawn Aitchison exceeded the fighting threshold, resulting in a 2-game suspension.
We're going to miss him. He's an MVP candidate in this league, and it's no easy task for a team to play without one of those guys in their lineup, but he's going to be back for Game 3.
It's definitely a tough ball, and it sucks, but I got confidence in the team that they'll get the first 2. And
that means more responsibility for the rest of the blue line.
It'll be spread around between all 6 of us, but I think everyone's just got to step up a little more, and everyone's got a part to play in their game.
Barrie looks to improve off last year's playoff run that ended in the conference finals, where they got swept by the Oshawa Generals.
I think all the guys that were here last year remember that feeling, so it's going to give us that extra motivation to push to the finals and win this thing.
The Colts co-captains also bring experience from competing on the international stage with Team Canada at the World Juniors.
It's a 7-game series for a reason, so we just got to wear down our opponents, and that's something that I'll bring over from that Team Canada experience.
Coach Moskowitz confirmed that Harebik will get the start in goal for the series opener, but he did not confirm what lineup changes will be made with Aitchison's absence. He says they'll be determined in practice this week and by how things go in Game 1. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Still to come, Hurry Hard. We'll take you to the Barrie Curling Club, where locals got their first shot at curling next. Plus, we'll show you how the community got glamorous and helped local families at the annual Glam It Up event. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Thanks for sticking with us. There were plenty of events happening around our region this past weekend, including at the Barrie Curling Club, where everyone was invited to hit the ice and throw their first stone.
We have people coming who have maybe not curled for 20, 30 years and coming back to it. But we also have families coming where mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, their grandchildren or kids are all coming just to try throwing a few stones. They watched it on the Olympics. They thought it was kind of fun to do. And so they've come today to just try curling. Curling is one of those sports that you can actually play from the time you're 5 or 6 till you're 96.
My favorite part is where you shoot the rock.
People of all ages were given the chance to try curling for free. Nearly 100 would-be curlers turned out, sliding, sweeping, and testing their skills for the first time. Parents and their kids ended March break with plenty of fun at the last day of the Bounce Bonanza. Parents excited for kids to go back to school, but many kids dreading it.
4 full days of fun, bouncy castles, face painting, fun foods, anything that the kids kind of want to come out here and have some fun and not be outside. It's a great way to kind of get inside and, burn some energy, have a lot of fun, and make friends.
We're going on all the bouncy castles. We had some popcorn, some cotton candy.
My favorite part was like the thing that you slide down that's white.
School is the worst.
I don't want to go back. Kind of good, kind of bad.
I can't wait for them to go back to school so that I can have a quiet, clean house again.
Now, in its 3rd year, the event continues to grow, with organizers at Bradford Greenhouses estimating nearly 3,000 families took part in the week-long fun. It was a glamorous day at Barrie Chrysler on Sunday when the annual Glam It Up event happened in support of the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie.
We really love this event because women and men come out, they can really treat themselves and have a day of getting beautified, and it makes us all feel really, really good.
I believe
say giving back is huge for me, and I love the vibe. It's a great vibe here.
Oh my goodness, I haven't done this in years and years. It's so much fun. I survived breast cancer last year, and this is a great pick-me-up. I needed to, I've been looking and thinking of doing something like this for myself because now I'm past everything, and I just felt like the pick-me-up. Perfect timing.
Even if you're somebody that doesn't, usually wear makeup like myself, coming out today and just really pampering ourselves and feeling good when we go home today is a really, really lovely feeling.
The event brings together the community for a good cause, raising nearly $5,000 each year. Organizers say every dollar helps support women and children across the region in need. Soon-to-be brides and grooms filled the air with love at this year's Barrie Simcoe Wedding Expo. Couples and vendors packed the floor to explore the latest trends, delicious cakes, and check out everything from dresses to decor. Organizers say it's the perfect spot to get inspired and plan the big day all in one place, with over 60 vendors and more than 400 couples. It was cops versus firefighters on the ice in Barrie, but not just for bragging rights.
The only winner tonight's going to be hospice. That's our main objective, whether we win or lose.
The 911 Crosstown Classic Championship Cup, the annual charity hockey game raising money for Hospice Simcoe, happened on Friday. Barrie Police Services and Barrie Fire and Emergency Services went head-to-head on the ice in front of a jam-packed Sadlin Arena, not just for the hockey, but to help give to end-of-life care and grief support for families.
I think it's near and dear to the whole community, everybody's had somebody affected by that sometime in their life, so I think we're all here for the same goal.
Yeah, one. The competition's huge. The cops are no joke. They're bringing their best foot forward this year. So are we. It's friendly competition. It's we go out, we try hard. You got to try hard. You got to have fun, and everybody wants to win. But at the end of the day, man, hospice is the only winner, and that's all the two of us care about.
The firefighters took an early lead and kept it, finishing the game 9-1 over the police and taking home the 911 Crosstown Classic Championship Cup. Coming up, a big stage and a big opportunity for local musicians in Barrie. How you can apply for open national acts at this year's Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series. But first, let's check in with Casey in the garden.
Hey Jack, today is National Near Miss Day. On this day in 1989, an asteroid, very large asteroid, came within about 684,000 kilometers of striking Earth. That would have been the equivalent of about 1,000 atomic bombs. Near miss, like Willie. Yes, Willie the groundhog and his forecast. Maybe not mine, hopefully. Take a look at our Weather Watcher Artiste, and as we have a look at Amelia. And Amelia says, tell me it isn't so. Tell me that my snowmaking days are coming to an end. No? Yes? Maybe? You're watching CTV News Barrie.
It's that time of the year. It's our Feeding Families food drive. The demand has never been greater. We're hitting the road as we partner with the Peggy Hill team and our radio partners at Pure Country 106 and Bounce 1041.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 1041.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Acrobat, which is a U2 tribute show.
They're going to be at the Gravenhurst Opera House on April 11th.
So make sure you tune in Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
Big thank you to everyone who took the time to send in those pictures. This week's theme is Pause into Spring. Show us your pet enjoying the melt, mud, or sunshine, or maybe their first walk of the spring. You can send your photos to picturethis@ctv.ca. Now, Casey Colby, we saw a few different animals there. Dogs, obviously, naturally, but possum? Is that a pet?
Sure. Why not, Jack? I mean, one of the anchors that works here sometimes is unusual pets, an iguana or a lizard or something. Absolutely, count them all in. The pet family, why not? Absolutely. Bring them indoors, though, tonight, because it's some kind of chilly out here. I was just saying to cameraman Davey Doll that it feels like a January evening out here. It really does. Let's continue on right now with the forecast, and here we go. Well, we threw in the wind chill. Why not? We're friends. Let's look at -11 with the wind chill as we speak in Collingwood. Incidentally, going down to about -17 with the wind chill this evening. -8 in Newmarket with the wind chill. Looks like -7 in the Sunshine City of Orillia. And call it -8 in Owen Sound with the wind chill going down to a low of about -17. -22, the coolest area this evening. I'll let you know where that is. The coolest temperature, that is, for the evening. We're looking at 0 and -2. That's the high, that's the low. Normally about 5 degrees above, -5 below. Excellent sap running season, I might add, when it is 5 above and 5 below. Maple sap, that is. Record 19 degrees back in 2021, and record low -23 in 2015. About 12 hours and 21 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar for me, would you please, Adam? Taking a look at the forecast. Oh, look at that. The evening looks quite interesting. Partly cloudy. Okay, we're starting to... What have we got going on there? Well, I did mention January, and there is snow in January, and this is a look at the overnight temperatures. -10, as mentioned, wind chill about -17 this evening. Southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. Partly cloudy skies, 60% chance of flurries this evening. Flurries, I say. No set accumulation. For tomorrow, 1 and 2 degrees for the high. We are going to see some sunshine, ladies and gentlemen, as per the forecast radar. We just saw it. And there is a very good chance of a little flurry activity tomorrow, too. Latter part of the day, I'm assuming, right? Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, -8, -10 overnight. Cloudy, 60% chance of a few flurries kicking around. 2, 3, and a 5. I see a 5, Jack. In Richmond Hill, sun and cloud. More sun than cloud, incidentally. Do enjoy. This is Perry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton. Feeling like -22 this evening with the wind chill, mainly cloudy skies, slight chance of a flurry. And then for tomorrow, increase in cloud cover and flurries, a high of 0 and 1 degree. Can we do better than that? Well, not tonight or tomorrow, but we might be able to do better in the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. And here we go. Starting in Simcoe County this evening, I see a 5 on Wednesday. I see cloud cover. I see a 40% chance of showers and or a few flurries. I see double digits on Thursday and a rain-snow combination. Snow in the evening when it would be -9, I might add, but 11 degrees. Yeah, double digits, and then right off the temperature cliff into -4. But there's sunshine, which is always lovely. And Saturday, cloudy skies, 40% chance of a few flurries, a few flurries, and 0 for the high. This is York Region. 5-day extended forecast. Cloudy on Wednesday, 5, 11 on Thursday, 60% chance of shower activity, and then things cool off. But here comes the sun on the Friday, -1 for the high. Saturday, mixed bag as far as sun and cloud in the sky, and 40% chance of snow. 3 degrees for the high. Muskoka, Bear Sound, Halliburton, have a look. Everybody gets cloud on Wednesday and a 40% chance of a few showers and or flurries. Call it mixed precipitation. Mixed precipitation on the Thursday. Yeah, 7 and -12. And then Friday arrives, everybody gets sunshine, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. -5, and Saturday looks like cloudy skies and a 40% chance of flurry activity. So we got one day, Jack, one day of double digits, and here comes the rain getting rid of more snow. We do have flurries, but no set accumulation. Boy, there's lots of this going on this time of season. But have patience, southerly flow on the way. Just patience. Jack.
I'll try to be KC. Now, it's a dream gig for local musicians, and it's happening right here in Barrie. People ready to flock to the downtown core once again to welcome big-name stars to the heart of our city.
First up, on June 6th, taking over the Troubadour Festival stage in downtown Barrie is the Roadhammers, and here to join us.
Last year, it was full of folks from all around Barrie and Simcoe County, and I think it was the most people that have ever been congregating downtown for the shows that we had last summer.
And here's your chance to be part of it. Submissions for the Troubadour Festival's local opener showcase are now open. Emerging artists can apply in solo, duo, and band categories. Both youth and adult divisions are available. Programming partner Chaz Hayes says this is a real opportunity for artists to share the stage with major acts and experience a professional festival environment.
I think for any artist that really wants to do this as a career, getting on a larger stage in front of a large audience gives you a feeling you've probably not had before, playing in smaller clubs and smaller venues. It also gives you the opportunity to see what that world is like, I think. And maybe the best part of it, it instills confidence in a young artist.
Selected performers will take the main stage at Meridian Place, opening for nationally recognized headliners in front of thousands. The deadline to apply is Friday, May 1st, with selected performers announced May 15th. The 2026 Troubadour Festival will also feature expanded daytime programming, an enhanced stage experience, and 4 Saturdays of live music in downtown Barrie. A reminder, we've launched a dedicated Troubadour Festival page featuring details on the local opener showcase and information on how to apply on our website, ctvbarrie.ca. You can also find the full schedule of events to make sure you don't miss out on any of these free summer fun concerts. Still to come, Barrie Police Chief Rich Johnson joins us in the studio to discuss how AI and technology are changing policing and how you can have your say at upcoming open houses. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Recapping our top stories, a Newmarket woman accused of kidnapping her young sons in 2009 is now behind bars in Canada. Edita Ustaszewska Watkins fled to Poland after courts gave her husband sole custody of their 2 sons. She was picked up by police in Germany and extradited to Canada. Barrie has paid Oromadante just over $10 million for lands transferred to the city by the province at the beginning of the year. Oromadante got the check March 13. It took 3 years of negotiations for the controversial land transfer and final payment to come through. Maple syrup farmers are looking for a few more cool nights and warm days to keep that sap running. Shaw's Maple Syrup says the sap's been flowing well so far thanks to still snow-covered ground. They make 1,500 gallons of syrup every year but need 60,000 gallons of sap to do it. It's no secret technology and artificial intelligence are changing the way we live, and now it's even playing a role in how policing happens here in Barrie. Joining us now to discuss how Barrie Police is using AI is Chief Rich Johnston. Rich, thank you for coming.
Jack, pleasure to be here.
Now, Rich, exactly what is the Barrie Police Service using AI and related technologies for day-to-day right now?
So right now it's quite limited. We are using automated license plate readers on a very limited basis. We're also using redaction services. Some of our body-worn cameras, actually all of our body-worn cameras rely on that that digital evidence to be redacted if it's going to court or being used. And so we have people who have to physically go through that, but there are algorithms to help redact faces, names, certain information for court purposes. So there is some use, but it's quite limited.
Okay, some people worry that AI and digital tools will put their privacy at risk. How do you kind of allay those concerns?
Well, let me be quite honest. Those are fair concerns. And I think as a responsible public safety agency, we have to address them and put in place guardrails and controls so people feel comfortable that their public safety service, their police service, is using that responsibly and to their benefit. At the end of the day, we police by consent in this city and across Canada, police services. We respond to our communities and we're responsible to them. So our behavior needs to be responsible. So we are looking at building our policy, which is not built yet. We do not have that policy and procedure written yet. We are engaging with our community to help them, solicit from them what are their fears, what does that look like, what would you like to see in terms of guardrails in place to control and limit the use of that. Within reason, as a public safety service, we do want to leverage technology to better improve the public safety.
So with policing changing so fast, you've alluded to this, how are you making sure that officers and the public can stay on the same page?
It is an ongoing communication process. I think we have to be clear with our intent. We have to be clear with our approach and use or potential use. I think it's one of those where we want to, and not to minimize it, but we want to improve our own community's literacy with our with understanding AI of its value. Now, any tool can be used well or for not for good, but the reality is it's how it's used, and we just want to find ways to communicate to our community that we're going to seek to use it in a very responsible manner.
So, and as part of that, the police service has been hosting open houses. We were at the first one last week. But for those who want to know more, what's the best way for them to find out?
Well, please come out March 31st at the library, and we hope you're there. You can also tune in virtually. There is a link available. Our intention is to not just inform the public, engage with them, answer questions they may have. Now, on March 31st, you're going to have a panel of experts, one of them from the United Kingdom on a recent research around the use of artificial intelligence, in particular facial recognition technology in Essex in the UK, but also other panelists from Ontario Tech University to not to in any way, stretch or form, like high-five the technology. It is to talk about the spectrum of uses and the potential downside of it. So we want to give a fair picture of that.
All right, thank you so much, Rich. We've been speaking with Barrie Police Chief Rich Johnston. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn more or revisit this interview, you can find it on our CTV website, ctvnewsbarrie.ca. MPPs were back at Queen's Park today for the first time since December. The spring session expected to be a busy one. The Ford government will be tabling its budget Thursday and is facing criticisms over a bill to restrict freedom of information access. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has those details.
The Premier began his day away from the legislature with a view of Toronto's skyline, announcing his government will declare the city's island airport a special economic zone, a designation that allows environmental and other laws to be suspended.
It's an airport for the people of Canada and Ontario. That's the difference. That's why we're taking it over.
The idea is to allow jets to take off from Billy Bishop in a few years. There's been resistance at City Hall. The province is pushing them out of the deal that governs the airport.
We always focus on environmental issues and we're going to be working with the First Nations community. We take all that into consideration, but we can't just sit back.
In the legislative chamber for the first time in 102 days, the opposition calls the airport and a flurry of other recent announcements a distraction, pulling attention from an overhaul of freedom of information laws that will put the Premier's cell phone records out of reach.
So I would ask the Premier to explain why is his government taking away the people's right to see how decisions are made and who is benefiting.
Doug Ford's been clear his cell phone is the reason for this change, but maintains Ontario is just getting in line with Ottawa.
There's two groups that are concerned about it. It's the opposition that they should talk to their federal partners and the media. Everyone else is focused on something else.
Liberals say the government record on those other things is less than stellar.
Class sizes keep going up. Unemployment, up. Hallway health care, up. People without a family doctor, up. Electricity and heating costs, up.
Just before question period, the NDP tried to bring a motion to the floor to reverse recent changes to OSAP. That move was blocked. A major student protest is planned here tomorrow. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index jumped more than 430 points in early afternoon trading after President Donald Trump extended his deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, giving stocks a boost on signs of possible progress. Here's where the numbers closed at the end of the day. The TSX was up 566 points, the Dow was up 631, and the Nasdaq was up 299. In commodities, oil was down, closing at $88.13 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,407 an ounce, and our dollar was unchanged, ending the day at 72.90 cents US. Coming up, we take a look at the end of an era. One of the last Steve's Music locations closes its doors, marking the end of a long-time rite of passage for aspiring musicians. But first, here's a look at the RVH Auxiliary 50/50 Draw Tracker.
Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Taking a look at your primetime lineup for tonight. At 8 o'clock, St. Denis Medical. At 8:30, The Rise and Fall of Reggie Dinkins. At 9, The Voice and CTV News at 11. Visiting Steve's Music to buy a guitar or an amp has been a rite of passage for aspiring musicians in this country for decades. Over the last weekend, one of the store's last remaining locations closed its doors forever. CTV's Mike Walker was there as music lovers flocked to the store for one last spin.
Music lovers lined up in the rain before the doors open for one last visit to the iconic Queen West store, where many say their musical journeys started.
Kind of bittersweet. This was the place you went to buy instruments or if you're in a rock band.
A final swan song for Steve's Music Store, shutting down today after nearly 50 years in business.
It was a place that I came to with my parents when I first got introduced to playing an instrument, and that was bass.
It's where Raffy bought his first bass and frequented as a teenager.
It was definitely an institution for musicians in particular to come and get to chat with people to see if they could get stuff that would help them.
The Montreal-based company announced a liquidation sale earlier this year as part of restructuring, citing significant disruption across the sector and financial pressure. The owner spoke with CTV News at the flagship store in Montreal last month.
So the focus of restructure is to focus on this location and online and build up from there.
A store where the motto was, try before you buy. Many longtime customers and employees say Steve's was much more than a music equipment store.
They also brought in, pros, so we would come and learn from the pros and learn from the staff. It's iconic. I mean, it's sad.
It's meant quite a bit, friendships and professionally and personally. Musicians that I've been able to collaborate with, connections I've made for playing around the community and stuff.
The closure hasn't sunk in yet for longtime employee David Matthews. He started working here when he moved to Toronto in 2000.
If you told me in 2000 that I would be here on the last day, I don't think I would have believed you.
The store opened in 1977 alongside the rise of Toronto's music scene and punk movement. The owner of the Rivoli, which is directly across the street, says many emerging artists who have performed on his stage had a connection to Steve's.
They went across and got their first guitar from Steve's and grown and developed that way. So it's emotional.
And while the brick and mortar store is no more,
so much of this is learned right here, not online.
There's been tears. Many say the music lessons learned and the friendships made here will last a lifetime. Mike Walker, CTV News, Toronto.
It may not look like it today, but the spring is finally here, and with it, food banks are bracing for another tough season. So once again, Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106, as well as CTV Barrie, have teamed up for our annual Feeding Families campaign, fueled by the Peggy Hill team. Join us tomorrow evening at the Peggy Hill Team Community Centre on Mapleton Avenue in Barrie from 4 to 7. Donate food or money and support local families in need. It's time now to check in one last time with Casey this evening for our Get Up and Go forecast. Case, how's it looking for tomorrow?
Beautiful south central sunset. Yeah, it's coming in right now saying goodbye. First thing tomorrow morning, when we say hello, what's it look like? Well, let's have a little look. Is that sun going to stick around? Indeed it is. Sunny skies in Barrie, -10. Cold. Oh, yeah, first thing in the morning. -8 in Newmarket. Cold. And -14. A little bit of cloud cover in Newmarket, but a sunny start to the day tomorrow, a sunny end to it this evening. Jack.
Thanks for joining us, and good night.